Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our AI Tech Talk live session. Today, we will be covering something very interesting, superintelligence. So, I have a couple of questions that some of you emailed to me. I will covering that. I will start with a definition of what superintelligence is, and then I will cover those questions very quickly in the next 10 minutes or so. Just a reminder, we are Skive and Robometrics machines. We build machines that feel. We are hiring, so if you're looking for something cool to do, please reach out to me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or your favorite social media. With that, let's start. What is superintelligence? Superintelligence, or its physical manifestation, it could be a machine, a physical machine, or it could be a software program, can be defined as machines that could surpass intelligent activities of any man or woman, however intelligent. So, what we're talking about is an agent or a physical machine or a software that could surpass that state of art human being who's the best in the world in that specific area. That is what superintelligence means. Now let's dig into the questions. The first question obviously comes into your mind is superintelligence there yet? AI has already been human like, or it has beaten many of the humans in things like games. Alphago is a great example where it was able to be the best player in the world in the Go game. Chess is another example which has been there for a very long time where computer programs based on even simple AI algorithm have beaten the best and the greatest chess players in the world. That means that AI has already outperformed or surpassed the best in a specific field. I would contest that actually means that superintelligence to some extent in a specific domain is already here. You can even generalize this a little bit more that a few years back, if you thought about a computer program beating chess, that was just unimaginable. Or a computer program like AlphaGo beating the best Go player in the world was just unimaginable. But today, it doesn't seem impressive enough, since the standard for what is cool, what is possible, and what is really intelligence changes, and that changes more or less due to our advancement in sciences. So every few years, what was really cool a couple of years back will not be cool today. There was a survey done, and I don't remember from where, but it mentioned about it surveyed a lot of scientists in artificial intelligence to say when can they believe when there's a chance of having superintelligence. So 10% said that the majority of them said that there's a 10% chance that superintelligence machines or systems will be there in 2030. And there's a 90% chance that it will be there in 2000. And there is still a finite chance that's already there today, as long as we normalize it based on the state of art, what was there in the past and now. The next question would be, and that's what the next question is, what will be the form of superintelligence? Will it be something physical, like a physical machine? Will it be a software program? Or will it be a really big computer sitting in a silo? I believe the ideal form of superintelligence would be digital. It's to some extent similar to what you may have seen in movies, for example, Terminator, that there was no single point where you could go and destroy Skynet. And there's a rationale behind it as well, why it will be digital. We human beings have a drawback, which is that our bodies are organic and we cannot really go beyond certain miles above the Earth's surface or even underwater without proper equipment. We'll die. Superintelligence or anything that needs to survive should not have those limitations. And if you extrapolate what will be the ideal form, or what will be the ideal form that a super intelligent computer or a system will like to take, it is digital because they have no limit. Another way to think about it is that we are organic creature. We are still run using sunlight or solar because we eat plants that are grown through that grows through solar energy, and then that's how we are living. And we have no way to escape Earth unless we have equipment and we have spaceships. And that also makes me believe is for superintelligence machines to be to be very intelligent or ultra intelligent, they need to be able to escape Earth, where the source of energy that's powering them is abundant, and that's sun. So they need to be out, and that's another reason why digital is the best form for a super intelligent being or a machine. The next question is, if superintelligence is not there yet, how can we achieve superintelligence? Are there strategies that work best versus that don't? We covered a little bit of that in the last couple of live talks about supervised systems versus unsupervised systems. Supervised systems need supervisors to train a system, and unsupervised systems are trained more or less on raw data. Bayesian systems are a great example. After all, our brain is, you can think of our brain as a Bayesian inference system as well. The self-supervised or the unsupervised systems, to some extent, have a way to be better and better without much human intervention. So that is, from a algorithmic perspective, that's also the best way for super intelligence to be built or developed, which is using unsupervised learning algorithm. The second way to think about is individualism versus groupism. For example, a fruit fly brain has 10 to the power of 5 neurons. Ant has just 250,000 neurons. Most of the smaller insects have brains of about 1,000 neurons. Human brain, on the other hand, has 10 to the power 11 neurons. Now, if you compare that, ants have been there, or insects have been there even before us. They have survived. Ants have just close to 250,000 neurons. They're still intelligent as a group. And that also gives us some indication about, instead of having one big supercomputer or one big machine, it will probably be a collection of machines. Just like a colony of ants that could kill a human being if they want to. The third way to actually build superintelligence is coming from right here, which is let's just emulate our brain, or what sometimes technically called whole brain emulation. That is definitely one of the ways to do that. It's hard. You could always, the theoretical way to think about it is that you make a replica of the brain. You scan each and everything about the brain, and you replicate that. And you replicate that 10 or 20 times to connect everything together. That's hard. We don't still have all the missing pieces to do that. The next way is what I call the biological cognition. So more or less enhancing our existing brain. Superintelligence, a superintelligence being can be us itself. They don't need to be artificial beings. They could be us. And one of the ways is that we have a brain. Why don't we make it much more better? Let's have better cognition. Just think about it, that the organic neurons that we have in our brain, which we have 10 to the power 11, we can always increase how quickly one of those neurons will fire, and voila, we have a much better brain. The second interesting aspect is really about embryos. So which you could have selective the selection process of how we come into being. So if we can gain IQ by having selective embryos. So if there are two embryos and we pick the one which is much more intelligent, and if the selection is 1 to 2, we gain about 4 IQ points. If the selection process is 1 to 10, that goes to 11 IQ points. And if it's 1 to 1,000, we are able to gain close to 24 IQ points. So those are some of the ways which we ourselves could be super intelligent creature. And no wonder one of the most important decisions you can actually make today is who you partner with, who you date, who you marry, because that will determine whether your hierarchy is going to be super intelligent or have super intelligence at some point faster than other. BCI, which Elon Musk has been talking about, the Neuralink is another way, brain-computer interface. That is also one of the ways. We are running out of time, so I will actually answer one more question. And the last question we will cover is, what is the best way to control superintelligence? I'll give you a very simple example, the stock market. Right now, most of the stock market, at least on institutional investor side, are controlled by machines or are controlled by automatic agents who do very frequent trading, and there is no way for a human being to do trading at that point. And how the stock exchanges today are controlled are also through triggers that are automatic. It's not through human beings. And the similar thing is with superintelligence too, that if we have a machine that is super intelligent, if we need to build some safety features, we need to do it in a much more automated way. So those circuit breakers, just like we are in the stock exchange, need to be much more automated. It should not rely on us human beings to figure out or to supervise. And that's a very important piece. Thanks, everyone. We probably will be discussing much more about superintelligence and another related area, which is artificial general intelligence, next time. Keep those questions coming. I will see you next time.